The inspirations for writing The Handmaid's Tale were three in number. First of all, my studies in the 17th century American Puritan theocracy, which was based in New England, and that I learned quite a lot about. So America was not initially founded as an 18th century Enlightenment republic. It was initially a 17th century theocracy, and that tendency keeps bubbling up in America from time to time. So that was number one. Number two was my reading of utopias and dystopias, which I had read a lot of and always wanted to write one just to see if I could. The ones that I had been reading pretty much always had male narrators, so I wondered how it would look if you switched that around in an American theocracy. And the third inspiration was what was happening in the early 80s already in newspapers and magazines that I was clipping pieces out of. So people, even as far as back then, were saying what they would like to do should they ever have a chance to take power. And now that faction is in power in the United States. I didn't put anything into the book that had not already happened at some time in some place in history or which was not happening when I was writing the book. So it's all reality-based, and one reason I did that was that I didn't want to hear you've got a warped, twisted imagination and nobody would ever do these things. So I just put in things that people had already done. And now they are doing more of them. The smorgasbord for humanity is somewhat limited. So totalitarianisms and autocracies, no matter what they call themselves, do generally the same kinds of things. So whenever you have a situation like that, you're likely to see a repetition of some of these behaviors that we have seen before under similar circumstances, no matter what the slogan is, left, right, or something else. So how does it feel? Well, it feels, I'm quite old, you know. I remember as far back as Mussolini, Hitler, Mao, the Argentinian generals, Pol Pot, and Ceausescu's Romania, and really quite a lot of others. Now we've got North Korea, and we've got something pretty autocratic in Turkey, just for examples. So it feels familiar. When MGM and Hulu announced that they were making a series, a new television series that was going to be video streamed, and when they started announcing the actors, and I think that kind of reaction came from people focused on the entertainment industry, so who was going to star in it, and those actors were released one by one, and then there would be a wave of excitement of that kind. Then, as we approached shooting, which began in September, already the American election was in full swing, and already people were using The Handmaid's Tale as a meme in social media and the media, such as somebody tell the Republicans that The Handmaid's Tale is not a blueprint, and things like that, which we had seen in the previous two elections also. But then, on the 9th of November, when the world woke up to find that there was a new kind of administration, even the cast of the television series said that they woke up and said to themselves, we are no longer in a fictional film, we are in a documentary. And I think that's when you saw a huge explosion of interest. So it had been going up, but it went way up. And then when Hulu put an ad for it smack bang in the middle of the Super Bowl, where you might least expect to find such a thing, that was a skyrocketing moment. One of my friends in the States said her husband, who doesn't usually read my books, came into the kitchen and said, I didn't know your author wrote horror movies. So the trailer played like a really scary thing. How can we best live the phrase, "Don't let the bastards grind you down"? Luckily, we still live in a democracy of sorts. I would say that it's advisable in that case to vote, which a lot of people don't bother doing. I would say vote early, vote often while you still can. And the other thing that we are seeing right now in society is, having had a certain amount of rights won by fighting for them, we're now seeing some pushback against those rights. Not so much in Canada. But I would say how you live the phrase, "Don't let the bastards grind you down," is going to be individual. It will depend on who you are and who the particular bastards that are grinding you down are in your case. So you can never separate men from this equation. It's not women over here in some kind of a bubble. It's women in relation to everybody else in the society, including children of all kinds and genders of all kinds, and everybody in the society should be thinking of this as a whole, and of balances within that whole thing. One of the most recent things that's been in the news is the push for a gender neutral, all-inclusive national anthem. And some people think that's silly. They've got the idea that it's that there's this traditional form that ought to be preserved. In fact, the anthem has been rewritten already 25 times. So my question would simply be, what do you say to a 5-year-old girl who says, "Am I a son?" Which point you say, "No, dear, you're a daughter." And then she says, "Well, why can't I be in the Canada song?" And the only possible answer to that at this moment is because some conservative senators think girls suck. So let's start with the anthem, and then extend that thinking out into other places in society.